Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and some of you might know, recently I went to Atlanta, Georgia. I was sent down there for the Smite World Championship, which is a game. Go ahead and look it up. I'm not going to tell you all about that. I'm sure a lot of you already know what the game is. Now, I was sent there by the Smite people themselves. They paid for everything, my flight, my hotel, everything. It was one of the coolest trips I've ever had in my life. And as side note, as some of you might know, I went to the Coke factory because I talked about it a lot in that previous video. One tip that I swear I'll never talk about the Coke factory again. If you do go there, don't buy the t-shirts. I've washed this one time and the logo is ripping apart and falling apart. It's a terribly made shirt. Total waste of 20 bucks. Shouldn't have done it. But anyway, thought I'd at least wear it one time in a video before it gets completely destroyed. I got some other cool merch while I was there. Now everything in this bag is part of the Smite swag bag. I tried to combine the words there for a second. Some of it was officially put in there, some of it was extra stuff I managed to pick up, but I'm going to show you all this stuff, and that way you guys can see everything that was the Smite merch. First up was the bag itself. Now this was the VIP bag, which was, they had different settings. They had like different statuses: God, VIP, Media, Elite, Legendary, all sorts of different ones. And this was the VIP one. There really was only two bags. There was this one and then like a green one. Now this is a nice bag. It's one you wear over your shoulder type of deal. Granted, you don't hold it like this, obviously, but you get my point. And then it has a zipper on the front, up there. And there might be some stuff in there. I don't know if nope, I didn't put anything in there. And it has some sort of little thing. I don't know if that's to hold a pen or if that's like for a wire or what the deal is with that. But either way, it's there. And it has this nice flap. And on the inside, you can see it has like pockets for whatever you want to put in there, like papers, pens, etc. But inside, there's all sorts of content. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Now, the first thing is actually my favorite item. So I shouldn't have started with it, but oh well. It is, they gave us hoodies. Got a free Smite hoodie. Very nice, very cool. But there's my badge, the VIP badge. It says my name. For some reason they were very gung-ho on writing people's middle names. My middle name is Mark, in case anybody's curious. And my lanyard, very cool. Then, this was not part of the bag, but see, on the last day, when they have a bunch of extra stuff they're still trying to give away, and they get to a point where they're kind of like, all right, if we don't start giving this stuff away more easily, we're going to have to ship it all back somewhere, and it doesn't become worth their time. So I, as a little bit of a scavenger, just went around and said, like, hey, do you want that? Are you guys getting rid of that? What's the deal? And so I ended up with some extra stuff. So this is one of those things. This was the this was an Alienware bag. The event was largely sponsored by Alienware. They actually had this really cool truck they left set up all the time. It was really neat that anybody could just come over and just play Smite outside the event in case they were curious. It also came with a little Alienware sticker. So yeah, Alienware bag. Now, this next item, this is the normal bag, okay? This was not the VIP one. It had its own set of merch. This is a similar bag to the Alienware bag, except this one's a little bit better build quality and has an extra pocket in the front. But yeah, made out of recycled material. Seems very nice. Now I also got a t-shirt. Very cool t-shirt. On the front, of course, it says Smite World Championship. And on the back, it says Curse, Logitech, and Alienware, all sponsors of the event. And so we have another shirt, actually. Free shirts are my favorite thing at events like this. And they make up for shitty shirts like this that break, die down in the wash. One time I put this in the washing machine and it's totally wrecked. And it was inside out and everything. I didn't do anything wrong, trust me. But yeah, Curse long sleeve shirt by Curse. Obviously orange and white. Then we got a water bottle. Now inside the water bottle there's actually a lot of things. So you can see the water bottle is blue, very nice. It says Smite World Championship on it. So we're going to open it up and look at everything on the inside. And a couple of things. The first up is we got a couple of wristbands. This is a black one and this is a green one. Now the significance of this for anybody who ever cares is on the last day of the event, after the event was over, there was a private party. If you had the black band, which is what I had, it meant you were VIP. It basically meant you can go anywhere at this party, which had like bowling and it had arcades and it had an open bar. I'm not a drinker, so that didn't really matter. The only real difference between this and this was that the black one meant you got to go to the open bar and have infinite drinks. Green one meant you had to pay for your drinks. They were very interested in having people attend this, so actually if you had the black band, they were giving out free green bands to everybody and saying like, hey, you got some friends? Bring a friend. Unfortunately, the only person I knew down there I couldn't get a hold of, so that was it. I had those bands. Moving on, we got dog tags. They gave us a free dog tag. They had this weird prize system. If you installed this app for Smite and took a photo of your dog tag and then posted it through their app, think of their app as almost like its own Twitter, like its own separate other aspect of social media, its own function, and it would tweet out events that were going on at the Smite tournament. But if you tweeted this out, they would enter you into a raffle where you could win some merchandise. I did not win anything, but there's my dog tag. I have another wristband. This one is specifically for Curse, the sponsor, another black one. A sticker that says Control Freak, very neat. We have a patch. This is actually a plastic iron-on patch for like a jacket. Obviously what you do is you put it up to a jacket and you just kind of iron it on and it will melt and stick onto the coat or whatever you have. It's very nice. Nice set of temporary tattoos. Now I can't show you these fully, but these are DLC cards for the game. I guess they give you special skins in the game. Some sort of raffle ticket. I never bothered to fill it out. Now here's why, in case anyone's curious. You could fill this out and you would enter to win a, I think it was valued at $5,000 gaming PC. And also like an ultimate Smite account. And some of you might find this stupid, but I felt that I had no right to enter because one, I was getting everything for free anyway, and two, I'm not a PC gamer, and so if I won, I'd be taking it away from someone who could really use it, so I didn't bother to enter. Maybe you think that's dumb, I don't know, but I didn't want to. So they give us a lot of buttons. This first one is a little alien, just the Alienware image, but it's black and the eyes are orange. A nice Smite World Championship pin. A Curse pin, a nice Smite Dragon pin, and some sort of Smite pin that's got like a Roman, like Greek tower type of thing, like the columns, whatever they are. Inside, we have a couple of alright, so this thing was basically a sporting event. People were competing in this, teams were competing in the game versus other teams for money, like a traditional sporting event. And I don't know how many of you go to actual sporting events. Me, I'm a big Chicago Bulls fan, basketball. And what they do with things like that is, if a guy's making his, shooting free throws and he's at the away team, they'll give these like balloons to people on the home team and they'll like, cheer them back and forth and try to make the other guy miss the shot. Well, they had that here. Essentially the same concept, except you were really waving them in support. And also, I guess, to potentially distract. It didn't really work the same way, but I thought it was neat conceptually, the idea that people would be, waving for one team and rooting against another, etc. This is some sort of Smite card. I didn't open it. I actually don't know what this is. It's just a little card of some kind. We got a bunch of stickers. And we have some sort of 10% off of an Alienware rig. Actually, tell you what. Oh, this offer ended. Never mind. I was going to offer it to somebody, but it's over. It's invalid. Sorry. We have a Smite comic book. We have some CDs. This is Manowar, Gods of War, and comes with a bunch of different songs. It looks very German, based on like the rating system and everything, and it looks like it has just German written on the back, so that would make sense. It says it's made in the it actually says it was made in Germany, so there you go. A lot of music on there. There was the metal case version, and there was also the plastic version. Now, this is one of the few differences I know about this bag versus the regular bag, is that the VIP bag had the metal one, and the regular bag had the plastic one. Though, when I was in the room, in like the Hall of the Gods, which is, the main room for the public, I was just standing there, and the guy who had the bags was like, "Hey, dude, you get any CDs?" I was like, "Yeah, I got the VIP one." He's like, "Take some more, take here." He just started handing me shit, because they wanted to get rid of it. So, I ended up with some extra stuff. This was kind of neat. I got a mouse pad. There you go. Very nice looking mouse pad. This is an advertisement for the Xbox One version of Smite coming up soon. You can sign up for the beta and everything. Unfortunately, it's ironic as all hell, I'm not going to get the game because it's digital only. I guess that makes sense, but it's unfortunate because I would have liked to have had a nice physical copy to at least go with this set, but oh well. This is like a advertisement for VIPs, and it included a map on the back of basically the area we were in and where you can go. for entertainment, etc. And there's a little bit of a schedule there. This is somewhat of an exclusive item. This is the controller scheme for the Xbox One version of the game. This was basically, alright, so when they were tearing down the place, and basically putting all the valuable stuff away, they had a bunch of Xbox One set up for us in the private VIP room, and they took those out of there, and they just had this plastic thing sitting there with this in it. And the guy was coming over and he was gonna like toss it, and I said like, hey, if you don't care, can I have that sheet of paper? He's like, yeah, whatever. So he let me have the sheet of paper. So there you go. There was only, in the whole event, there was like 5 or 6 of these. So nice to have that. Totally worthless, I'm sure, but neat nevertheless. A little bit of a little advertisement on the game, how to play it, basic description of events, all that kind of stuff. A pamphlet of some kind. This is this is like a map of the arena, and just a basic breakdown of who the teams are and who's playing who and what the place looked like and the schedule. Nice to have that. This is a little advertisement for Red Bull. I've never had so much Red Bull in my life. This thing was also sponsored by Red Bull. You could go up to this counter and you just ask for a Red Bull and they'll just give you a Red Bull. They had multiple flavors. You could have as much as you want. They just hand you a can, you're on your way. As much Red Bull as you like. However, the building, called the Cobb Center, was owned by Coca-Cola, which that is a very Coca-Cola town, trust me. And so they had this weird rule where you could have Red Bull, you could have all you want, but only in that room, or the VIP room. You were not allowed to take the Red Bull out of that room and into the hallway, because the building would go apeshit if that was the case. So what a lot of people did is if they wanted extra Red Bulls, they'd smuggle them out in their bags. The people don't care if you do that. As long as the Red Bull does not show up visually when you're walking around the hallway, no one cares. So it's kind of, I don't know, it was weird. But they actually had employed staff whose entire job it was to stand at that door and not let you take a Red Bull out. It's pretty cool, but a little bit weird waste of resources, but cool nevertheless. So there's a flyer for that. This is just another flyer like that advertises what the game is. Then we have, this is just a booklet with breakdowns of all the teams that were there. Cognitive Prime, actually, these are the guys that won. Congratulations to them. They got a lot of money out of that. I believe it was $1.3 million to split across the team. So that's pretty cool. Just a big pamphlet, break it all down. Very neat. And finally, just a Smite community magazine, all about the events that are going on with Smite. Yeah, so there you go. And of course, the bag itself. That's it. That is everything I got at the Smite World Tournament. And I was hoping to go game hunting in Atlanta, but apparently the game hunting scene is totally non-existent there. So I did still walk away with some pretty cool stuff, so it's pretty awesome. I'm kind of hoping that what happens with the Smite World Tournament is that it kind of ends up being kind of like what the Nintendo Championship was. Like it eventually becomes this thing they don't really do anymore, even though they're still successful. And there was just that one event where like every piece of merch that ever came from it is valuable. So I'm probably just going to hold all this together like a hoarder and maybe sell it someday. I don't know, but I don't know. It's neat to have it, and we'll see if it ever accrues in value over time. So there you go. That's it. I thought you guys would enjoy seeing that, and thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later.